Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com as well as the YouTube channel and NoDQ&A videos affiliate RingsideNews.com. WWE TLC or TLCS, whatever you want to call it, is this Sunday live on the WWE Network for just $9.99. NoDQ.com will have you covered for that. Got your questions here from spring.me/Aaron Rift. Let's get started with the first one today from the Nova KD. Hey Aaron, what is your overall opinion on the Slammy Awards Raw? Overall, I thought the show was very average. If I had to give Raw a letter grade this week, I would give it a C-. It was at the bottom range of average, in my opinion. I felt that the matches were too short to be significant. I felt that the Slammy Awards, all those segments, it was very run-of-the-mill, what you would come to expect from the Slammies. I mean, to me, it was just another show. And I got this question here from Spectre World. Honestly, do you think the Slammy Awards are meant to be taken seriously? Not really. I feel that the Slammy Awards, first of all, when it comes to the nominees, it's all political. WWE makes the picks. With the NoDQ.com year-end awards, the fans, the NoDQ.com visitors, get to choose the nominees. That's how it's been going for the past 15 years now. But with WWE, I mean, they do what they want. They manipulate the audience. I do feel that the voting is legitimate. I know there's a lot of people out there that feel the Slammy Awards are rigged, especially with Roman Reigns winning the 2014 Superstar of the Year when he wasn't even nominated by NoDQ.com visitors for the NoDQ Year-End Awards. I think that fans probably voted for Roman Reigns. He's very popular with the casual fan base in WWE. I don't feel that Roman Reigns deserves that honor of being the Superstar of the Year. His biggest moment of 2014 was having a tremendous run in the Royal Rumble, being the runner-up, having the most eliminations. Everything else he did was part of the Shield that was significant, and he got hurt for part of the year in September. He's been out for the last 3 months. You know, I think that WWE wants to groom him as the next big thing, and, you know, this is the beginning of bigger things to come, but as far as 2014 goes, I think it's too soon to say that Roman Reigns was the Superstar of the Year. And, you know, WWE picks and chooses the people that they want in the categories, and for Match of the Year, the Shield and the Wyatt family, which is currently winning on NoDQ.com's poll for Match of the Year, wasn't even a choice for the Slammy Awards. So, yeah, I would not get too offended over the Slammy Awards. It's just a gimmick by WWE, something they do every year to try and pop a rating. That's really all it is. So I would not waste too much energy in getting offended over the results of the Slammies. All right, this one comes from Anti-PG Fan. 3 years ago, if WWE knew CM Punk had it in him to walk out and go to the UFC, do you think his booking would have been better and he would have had more big names on his defeated list? I doubt it. I think from WWE's perspective, they did everything they could to make CM Punk the biggest star possible, and they gave CM Punk every opportunity to run with the ball. You know, I'm sure Triple H is thinking, hey, we made CM Punk WWE Champion for 434 days. He got to face The Undertaker at WrestleMania. He was going to face me at WrestleMania. And I'm sure from Triple H's perspective, even though it wasn't going to be the last match on the show, Triple H's match with CM Punk was going to be the main event in terms of the quality of the match. And I'm sure that Triple H and CM Punk would have stolen the show at WrestleMania. So, you know, I think Triple H is probably offended that CM Punk didn't feel he was a big enough star in WWE and wasn't getting 100% back from the company. I don't think anything would have changed. I think WWE, I think a lot of people were probably surprised about CM Punk going into the UFC, but I don't think WWE would have done things any differently if they knew CM Punk was serious about going to the UFC and pursuing a whole other career. All right, I got this next question here from Kane Yo-Yo for the win. Hey Aaron, what do you think of CM Punk signing with the UFC, and do you think he will make it? Well, as far as CM Punk signing with the UFC, I think that it's a tremendous move for him. It's an incredible opportunity for him to repeat the success that Brock Lesnar had going to the UFC and having a whole other career that he can make a name for himself. And, it's huge. I think a lot of people, like I said in the previous question, were very shocked of the news. I mean, last week there were rumors and there was talk about CM Punk going to the UFC, but a lot of people brushed it off. A lot of people thought, yeah, there's no way the UFC is going to sign a guy with a 0-0 record in fighting. But when you look at it from a business perspective, it makes sense. It makes sense to sign CM Punk. He has a huge fan following, and he might be what UFC needs to get their own pay-per-view buy rates up and generate some buzz. I mean, certainly when it happened, the internet blew up yet again from CM Punk-related news. And, his first fight is going to be a huge draw. Now, will CM Punk make it? It depends. I mean, I'm sure CM Punk is going to give it his best effort. And based on CM Punk's passion and how hard he works, I think that he has a very solid chance of making it, at least for a couple of fights in the UFC. I'm sure for his first fight, it's going to be against an opponent with the same amount of experience. And it really doesn't matter if the other person is a big star or not, because like I said, the draw is CM Punk. People are going to be watching the fight because it's CM Punk's first fight. So you could put CM Punk in there against anybody. Now, on the other hand, do you want to put him in there with somebody with absolutely no experience and that guy ends up destroying CM Punk? I mean, that would be disastrous for Punk. So you want to put him in there with somebody who has some credibility, so then if Punk loses, you can say, okay, he lost to a guy that is actually good. So, you can really look at it from either perspective. I would just put him in there with somebody who has equal level of experience and somebody who, has a good reputation, somebody who has potential to be a big star in the UFC. Put that guy in there with CM Punk. And I got this question, speaking of CM Punk, from Judicial55. Hey Aaron, do you think CM Punk will fight Jason David Frank, the green, white, red, and black Power Ranger? Personally, I think JDF would win, just saying. I actually think that would be a decent idea. I don't think the UFC is going to do that because if they booked that fight, I think too many people would look at it in a negative way, thinking this is too much pro wrestling, it's too much sports entertainment to put these guys in there. And, I think the UFC definitely wants this fight with CM Punk to be seen as credible. And, I think it would just be too over the top to do that fight. But I would be entertained by it. I would buy a ticket for that fight. I mean, it would definitely be interesting. It would definitely generate headlines. CM Punk versus the Green Power Ranger. I think that that would be a financial success. But I would be surprised if that fight happens. I think that it would just be too over the top, and I think UFC wants to, keep their distance from sports entertainment. And, CM Punk is already going to get the critics as it is that, oh, you got this fake sports entertainer getting into a real fight. How can I take this seriously? So, I think they're going to put him in there with a legit fighter who's already starting to get established in the UFC, who isn't a celebrity already. All right, this one comes from Merman1. Hey Aaron, I was watching some late 91 and early 92 stuff on the network. I'm wondering why they didn't go with Flair versus Hogan at WrestleMania 8. I feel like WWE missed a huge opportunity to do what would have been a big money match at the time. To this day, I'm still not really sure what happened there. Hogan and Flair was a dream match, the match that people wanted to see. I remember when Flair came into the WWF, they did a series of house show matches. I was actually at one of those Hogan-Flair house show matches at the LA Sports Arena in the fall of 1991. And I remember at the time the house show numbers were a bit disappointing, and maybe Vince McMahon felt that match wasn't as big of a draw as people were making it out to be. So Vince decided to go with what he felt was best for business, and that's Hulk Hogan against Sid Vicious. I guess Vince probably felt that was a bigger marquee match, and that was a bigger draw for Hogan to face Sid rather than Flair. and he just decided to go with a double main event, Hogan versus Sid and Flair versus Savage. Yeah, to me, it was a huge missed opportunity, and WCW was able to capitalize on that and do the big Hogan versus Flair pay-per-view match, and then they did the rematch at Halloween Havoc, and it helped put WCW on the map. So yeah, that was definitely a huge mistake, I feel, on WWE's part to not do Hogan versus Flair at WrestleMania 8 when both guys were still in their prime. You know, to this day, you know, it's really mind-boggling why they didn't do that. All right, that'll wrap it up for this edition of No DQ&A Video. Thanks as always for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, please share it on Facebook and Twitter. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest regarding TLCS. And of course, keep voting in the NoDQ.com year-end awards. Roman Reigns is not up for Superstar of the Year, so if you are unhappy about that Slammy Award result, go to NoDQ.com now and vote for your Superstar of the Year pick. See you guys next time for more No DQ&A Video.